nice to have you on in our trials and tribulations with your pizza.
Yes, sir.
Figuring that out, and we'll have that later on. Man, that's yeah, it's just one of those things. That's fucking business.
Yeah, 100%.
You realize you don't have a fucking sheet pan, and you don't have tin foil. You got to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the reality of the world. But I think, really briefly for the audience, like Dax, you've got a pretty cool pizza brand and frozen pizza brand all over here in BC, and obviously looking to continue to expand. But I think you guys are very deep roots here, and by nature, I don't know about a small business feel, but personal feel, personal touch. You can be very much that way in content. I don't know any frozen pizza brands that are doing social media content with the owner other than you guys. And even large, huge food brands, like that's a segment I think there's still lots of opportunity in. But Dax, like tell me a little more about you, how you found your way to this business and your story.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Basically started out, I was pretty much always like more of an entrepreneurial minded, and so there's one day that my mom shut down her restaurant, and then due to some health issues and stuff like that, and then the opportunity kind of arose to like, oh, there's a space available, or it's there's some equipment there, and then we just bought some extra equipment and started just doing just pizzas.
Okay.
And kind of just flourished from there. Yeah.
And that was 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
No, that was 2019 we opened.
Okay, when you first opened.
Yeah.
And then what was that 2021 date? Like what happened, I guess, between then and then to become a distributor, I guess? Was that that point?
Kind of like, a wholesaler, I guess, or frozen. It converted from pizzeria to like frozen pizza.
Okay.
So between that time, it was going really good. Obviously 2020 shut down, and it was primarily like a what's the word? A dine-in restaurant.
Okay.
And so through that time, through COVID and all that, we just shifted to doing drive-through pizza. So we actually built like a thing on the side of the building.
Oh yeah, cool.
Beside the oven, and then we did drive-through hot pizza, and then I kind of was like frozen pizza. So I just bought some vac bags and some a vacuum sealer, and started sealing our pizzas. And
nice.
Then probably around 2021, it's like kind of made the decision to like shut down the restaurant. And then I think it was around 2022, it was like really like just fully frozen.
Fully frozen.
Yeah. Just like between that time, it was just kind of like a transition period.
Yeah. I can think of a lot of reasons why, but tell me, what was your rationale other than being in a global pandemic? Like what made you guys go to frozen? And I guess wholesale, more of a distributor angle rather than, experience oriented restaurant, like client base, that kind of thing.
I think there's just like kind of it's just like you have more potential, more scalability.
Yeah, for sure.
Like looking back, it's kind of, it's hard to scale frozen, but it's definitely like, definitely has, it's more of like a niche pizza. So you can access more people, have more people that will enjoy the pizza, and what's the word? Probably, I guess, and just enjoy the product. Like, So,
I don't. Scalability is interesting. Like I think you can scale any business, but I see that trajectory, and you're saying, okay, I'm in a restaurant business, food industry, not an easy business to be in, by the way. Like I commend you for doing that, because I know a lot of restaurants that, they're up and down. Like it's brutal, it's cutthroat. But I look at the restaurant industry, and then I look at the distribution business, and both are scalable, but one you can scale, I think, without going into different territories and having a lot of people working for you, under you, whether you franchise or something else, versus just grinding a distribution chain and just expanding. Like that, now you become like a consumer staples brand, rather than a experience oriented. Like you're not looking for a franchise model, like you're more based in distribution. Was that kind of your thought there? Is like, okay, I see myself, like we get onto shelves rather than having to open all these different stores for a high ROI, like high undertakings. And
it's a larger capital investment to like open up restaurants and stuff like that.
Huge,
and the margins are much smaller. I mean, it's similar. I guess pizza is similar across the board, but the margins are definitely I guess, yeah, they're more similar, but the capital investment to invest in a restaurant or multiple restaurants rather than just invest, like, say, put $1 million into a facility that can do 30,000 or 50,000 pizzas a month or whatever it is. So, like, it's, the scalability is a little bit different, but then there's also different trade-offs there as well. So
yeah, like after fixed costs, if you're going restaurant angle, like 10 different shops, like if you have a global pandemic again, like you're in trouble, right? Yeah. It's very cyclical industry in that way. Like you're good when things are good, and when things are bad, they're shit, for lack of a better word, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of brands like that, like apparel is like that way too. Like when things are good, people are buying your brand. You can be very much in tune with that, and there's a way to do that business. But yeah, when things are bad, like Lululemon is great until it isn't, right? And then now you're in trouble, and you need to go find business. But it sounds like you're more like, what was the switch? Like when did that flick for you? You've been more entrepreneurial, I think, most of your life. Like I think anyone that I talk to here, like they grew up in an environment that wasn't always necessarily that way. Like I think at some point you have to think higher than your environment and say, I'm just going to try this shit and see what happens. Like, did you have a light bulb moment, or was it a long accumulation of experience?
I think my first business as a kid, I was 7 years old, and my dad built me a cart that I pulled along the beach in the summer times. My parents had a summer cabin, and so I was hustling like fruit and pop and candy out of that thing, and I'd actually like make a decent amount of money for, I guess, a 7-year-old. But that was definitely.
What would you rack in on a day like that? Like, do you remember?
I mean, probably. I probably want to say at least like $200 or $300 a day.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So like, I mean, I was going through like a decent amount of product. We would go to like, because it was kind of out of town. I was up at like Seymour Arm, which is like probably like, it's like an hour and a half on a dirt road. But we would go there like once a week and stock up, and it was definitely, from what I remember. I mean, most of the time I probably couldn't count and couldn't exchange the dollars properly.
Yeah.
My math skills back then weren't that great, but
you're a child, dude. You're good. Yeah.
I mean, that was probably a little bit of a extra margin there, but
yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's kind of just accumulated over time and just started, just whether it was like taking care of dogs for people or like snow removal, like just the normal like kid businesses, but I just did that through my entire like childhood, I guess.
Nice.
So.
Well, dude, $230 as a 7-year-old is wicked. Like to me, that was like 6 Lego sets. Yeah. Like that was my measure of value at that time.
I definitely bought some Transformers and some other things.
But that's what you're, I guess, working towards as a kid. Like, and you're never afraid. I don't know, not everyone had the same childhood, but I think you're not afraid to dream big. Like, why do children look up to professional athletes, to maybe business owners in some way, but supermodels and all these people doing stuff? Like, it's not about the money. Like, you're a 7-year-old child. Like, they don't understand the concept of what that means, and like fiscal responsibility and that whole conversation. To them, they dream this. I want to be an astronaut, a doctor, or this stuff. Like, they followed their dreams, and I think, there's not enough of that nowadays. Like.
Yeah, so especially like right now, like even as adults, I guess. So like we tend to like have so much fear based around what people think, and what it's like.
Why what?
Right? Just try it and like just go for it, because like at the end of the day, like really, like, are you gonna like look back at your life and like what you see, or you're gonna regret not doing that one thing that was hounding you in your mind for 40 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
And you never pulled the trigger that you so badly wish you did. Like, man, I just hope it's like, bar none, when I'm on my deathbed, like if I achieved nothing, but I left it all in the field, like I'm happy. Yeah. Because I know at the very least I put everything I could into my life, and this was my all in. This was all my chips on the table.
100%.
But if I achieved a lot and didn't put everything in, like to me that's like, there's always going to be that what if, right? I don't want to live with what ifs in that way. And like at least giving it your all. Do you think about death a lot? That's where that takes me, like that conversation.
For sure. Yeah. It crosses my mind a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, just because like I always like try and like think back at like, I try and put myself in like my 90-year-old self and be like, okay, what would I actually do here besides like what is like either my emotions or my logical mind at this time want me to do. So I kind of just put myself in that person and view it from that instance of like, if I actually was like dying or whatever, would I choose a different decision, I guess, or make a different decision?
Yeah. No, fair enough. For me, it's usually like action or no action is the biggest thing. Like, there's always like an option A or B. And like I think you're always gonna at some level wonder, what if I tried this business instead, or what if I did this other thing, or accepted this opportunity, or didn't accept the opportunity I'm in now. But yeah, I think like there's a secret third option that most people take is nothing, and that is a choice. Yeah, true. Right? It doesn't mean you're like that is one of three decisions, which is to do nothing. And I think that option is kind of the opt out that 90-year-old me will not be happy. He's keeping me accountable for sure. But other than like, that's kind of young childhood. Bring me up to like, I guess your teen years. Like, you grew up in the Okanagan. Like, what prompted this mind? But like, how did you grow up? Like, what was your experience as a teenager?
Like in terms of like business, like
life. Like, how did you? Like, there's two or three things that, how I saw the world and how it kind of formed who I am today.
That's a good question. I probably have to say that like I definitely like my parents, like we were like kind of like developers. My dad built houses and stuff like that as well, and so like I kind of was around business quite a lot, and then a lot of the biggest thing, I'm not really sure if it's what sparked like the more entrepreneurial stuff in me, but like the 2008 stuff, I can't remember how old I was. I was probably like 10 years old or something like that, which is a little bit before, but there was so much like pressure because my parents were like going through so much financial stress with building a few houses around that time, and then it just compiling into unfortunate events, and just the way the market goes, and so it kind of formed that part of like maybe pushed me to go more business and be like into the taking control of like, I guess, my destiny or whatever you want to say.
No, for sure.
And so growing up with that, and then I don't know, it was mostly like I spent most of my time snowboarding and just like doing activities, I guess, that were like fun to me, I guess, at that time. And I don't know. I'm not really sure how to fully answer that question.
No, that's fair. Like, it's the makings of taking control of your destiny. Like, having that realization as a young child, I think is interesting. And you see it like, it's almost like the meaning you derive now, right? As a child, you had no idea that the 2008-9 financial crisis would determine that you want to be a pizza business owner. But you can look back at that and say like, okay, what meaning did I derive from this? Like real estate in 2008-09. If you were building, it's not an easy industry to be in, for sure. Like, a lot of people that timed real estate here in Kelowna really well are very happy about that because they moved here. Like, my parents moved in 2009. We bought a house here.
Sweet.
So like, the appreciation on that thing's been pretty great for them. But you look at something like that, and it's not an easy time to go through. And think about job security too. Like, if you were an employee at that time and we're shrinking half the company because we don't have the sales to back it, like, do you really have is that really a secure life? And that's probably the biggest rationale or argument for doing a job. Is you've got a paycheck king coming every month, but you do until you don't. Right? Like, at least it's like, I'm taking control of my own destiny. If I succeed, if I fail, it's my fault. It's not someone else's. It's not my boss's fault. Like, I'm responsible for my income. When, like, I guess, when did you say like that's my path, that's my deal, man?
For Pizzamoreh or just business?
Just in general, like, when am I gonna, like, taking control of my destiny? At what point did you see that being a must-have?
It was just kind of, it was like you said, it was kind of just a gradual movement, but I started really like probably at the later years of like when I was about 16, I started really diving into like whether it was like Tony Robbins or like Tom Bilyeu or like some of those guys, and I just every night I would come home and just watch that. I stopped like gaming, I stopped playing Xbox, and I just watched those and just absorbed as much as I possibly could, and then and just I've just kind of developed to that path of just trying to just grow and learn as much as possible. And I think that's what most people want to do, but most entrepreneurs actually do.
Yeah.
So, or business owners or business-minded people that are just want to be in that kind of growth mindset. And that's what I want to continue doing and learn as much as I can and take as much action as I can.
You don't need 25 different offers that you're trying to sell simultaneously. Like really one or two really, compelling offers is kind of all you need. But yeah. Okay, well, tell me more about the slice.
All right, so this one's the After Biggie. So it was named after me and my buddy always used to go up to Big White and we just come down, munch like as much protein as possible. So this one has like 20 grams of protein per quarter, so per one of these slices. And we have we do the dough ourselves, 24-hour ferment, organic flour, marinara that we make in-house, then the mozzarella, provolone cheese, Italian sausage, bacon, and pepperoni. That's made in, we make the Italian sausage, but Helmets. Have you ever heard of Helmets? No. It's like a...
The deli?
Yeah. It's like a deli kind of. He has a bigger company that's called Okanagan Artisan Select that makes the pepperonis for us, but it's kind of like custom made for Pizzamoreh. So
there's 4 different types of meat on here? Or 3?
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, wicked.
Yeah, it's pretty fire.
Oh my God. After Biggie. That's sick. That's awesome. I've skied my whole life. Too.
Really?
I love it up there, yeah. Do you come up with new recipes often? Is that a...
I tried to.
Yeah?
I mean, I tried a few things like the apple pie pizza. Still hasn't really took off like I wanted to. I'm going to finish that after.
Yeah. No, you're good. It's an interesting idea. Apple pie, yeah.
Well, we sold, actually, I mean, I kind of recreated it from the restaurant because it was something that was popular at the restaurant. Because we used to do it with like ice cream and stuff.
Oh, shit.
Cool. Or gelato.
Gelato.
I used to sell gelato there. But yeah, it was mostly test stuff, and then we kind of put it out, make feelers. I might be putting out just like a straight pepperoni pizza, and we're making like a kind of a hot honey. Like, so that's kind of our next kind of product that we're looking to put out there because it's shelf stable, and we can distribute it easier.
Nice.
Build the relationships with new retailers without freezer space issues.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the main focus. So make a new product with that, but also use it on the pizzas. And so we're thinking about having like little packets of like crunch packets with the pizzas now.
Interesting.
And whether it's, depending on the pizza, it'd be like either a crunch packet where you put it on top and it's like gives it a crunch, or a hot honey or something like that that you can drizzle on.
And you're saying that's shelf stable, meaning it doesn't have to go in a freezer?
Yeah, so like there's 2 different avenues. There's like some of it will go like actually be in the package with the pizza.
Yeah.
And then the other part will be actually like available for like retail. So we'll actually sell bottles of the hot honey and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, use sauces and you can go in different segments. Okay. Is that like, because that is, to your point, like more shelf stable, but I think that follows like the demand and the competition. Like if you're going into a segment that's easier as a business owner, like objectively to get on a shelf and be there longer, like I would think, without knowing your industry and like talking out of my ass, I would think that would come with more competition and more people that are there, right?
No, for sure.
Yeah.
100%. That's why we're kind of going a different avenue with the actual sauce itself. That's different from the normal market or like what most people are doing.
Yeah.
And they're just with something like that, you can just get it into more people's hands quicker. Like one thing I was like thinking about just in general to get it into market is just like getting people to try it, getting it into like going into restaurants, being like, hey, what's it going to take to get all these tables?
Okay. Yeah.
Or to have our sauce on all these tables or something like that.
It's a good idea.
So you just kind of guerrilla market the heck out of something like that.
Yeah.
When you have so many constraints with frozen because I can't ship it like B2C.
Easily,
so I can't ship it to like someone in Vancouver.
Yeah, that's true.
So like
you got to be in like different retailers.
Yeah, like
you got to be in stores. Okay.
Yeah, it opens up so much more to like getting more UGC creators and getting more people actually like using the product and being able to just market it, ship it, start with B2C, then get into the retailers, kind of like validate the idea first.
So your B2C is like that angle, and that would be
like just on website. So you'd ship it out yourself.
Okay.
So
but like sauces and stuff like that, okay? Because you can ship that without, okay. Like I order my granola bars on Amazon.
Yeah.
Because it's like, they're clean, right? They're good. Like that's what I want.
Then you can get the sauces on Amazon even, and then it's like even more accessible.
Yeah.
So it's like, going back, I might have convoluted that, but it's just like, start with the idea with the sauce, B2C, you get it on Amazon, get it on your website, validate the idea, get it in people's hands, trying it. And then once you see that demand for it or potential demand of the brand and also the product, if people like it, then we start distributing through our network of, 40, I don't even know, 45 stores, I guess now. So
yeah. And that's a good angle, like to get into stores, right?
Yeah.
And now you've got this other product, and now it's the relationship is with your brand rather than your product exclusively. Yeah, okay, that's an interesting angle.
Because it's more so like...
So that's kind of growth strategy then. Like if we're getting on that, like you want to get into shelf life, which is important, but then getting into like direct to consumer. Is that the plan? Okay.
And it's a lower cost of production because like each production for us costs like 2, 3, 4 grand sometimes.
Wow. Okay.
So it's like every time it's like you fork out the money for the labor, the food costs, and obviously like it's the production cost for pizzas versus a sauce and the bottling and everything is much lower and more scalable. Yeah. So like you could produce 1,000 sauce or bottles in one day, aside from it takes us start to finish. It's like a 3-day process right now for pizza production.
Okay, the whole batch. And how many pizzas are you cooking in 3 days?
So we'll have like we'll start fermenting the dough. That's day 1. Then day 2, it gets par baked. Par baked, and then the same day the pizzas get par baked. They get topped, put in the freezer. Then they sit overnight in the freezer. Then they get sealed in like vacuum sealed bags overnight, and then next day. Okay. It's all sealed. Yeah.
Does it like what's your count? Like roughly how many?
300.
300. Okay.
300 per production.
Okay,
right now.
gotcha.
So, yeah, we're doing 300. Like it's mostly 300 3 days a week. So
okay. Yeah.
We just went to. Yeah, it's
it's a lot. I mean, dude, 300 pizzas is it's a lot of food. And you're like, if you're a distributor, like you just gotta get this shit out, right? Yeah. So do you have like a frozen van or something that comes and grabs that, I guess?
Yeah, so like a truck just comes up. Yeah, we just build the pallet. You stack like 45 cases. Okay. So we have 12. It's 12 pizzas per case. So we do 45 boxes, ship that out to the warehouse, and then they kind of like distribute it. And yeah.
So you're like, we were alluding to growth. Like you gotta have a growth strategy, absolutely. But what like your ideal world, like Pizzamoreh is like the grand master of the pizza business. Like what does that look like for you? Like if you had to build your ideal business, like what kind of, where are you operating? What are you doing? What are you personally as a business owner doing like in that business? Like what's your role? Like what lights you up? And then, what does that look like from an impact and a financial perspective?
I think starting with like what I'd like to be in the business is just like kind of more so like product development in some capacity, and then also just like being a leader in inside the business and just just I think that's probably the main two things, is just trying to be the leader in the business.
Okay.
And then,
so you want to lead a team?
Yeah,
thing,
for
then?
sure.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, at this point right now, it's kind of like a small team. We have like, I don't know, 4 staff.
Nice.
So it's like, it's different, but it's also like, I want to also be able to step away.
Yeah.
And like what we were talking about earlier is like, just be able to like have it grow without my full entire capacity involvement, because I'd like to go focus on other things as well.
Yeah. Well, it's not, you're not required every day in the operations and the day to day.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, it's not something like Pizzamoreh is not is I like business. I want to like grow businesses, but it's not like my end all be all kind of deal.
Yeah.
So like I'd like to see it thrive and build, but at the same time I'd like to create, step away, come back, maybe, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. A little more free will.
Yeah.
In that way. So do you see yourself like doing other businesses too, and like branching as a
for sure.
serial entrepreneur kind of thing? Yeah, okay.
I'd probably like,
I know it's down the line too, right? Like from where you are now, but yeah.
It'd be cool to vertically integrate this thing and just have like different processes. So like whether it's like have a butcher shop that would supply this, and then like kind of vertically integrate that way, where it's like you have a farm, you have a butcher shop, you have things that provide stuff for this brand itself. Is an idea, but at the same time, it's still a little bit down the line.
Yeah, and it's forecast, but it's good to see like where am I moving, and like I think people that are shooting really really high move different.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is my dream, man. Like I got to take the action now to get to where I am today.
Yeah.
If you don't dream big enough, I don't think you take the action required to get to that level. But it's good to see you're thinking kind of future, thinking leadership, thinking I got to build a, owner-led businesses, very personal touch. That comes with an advantage. If you can kind of create yourself as the clone, as the model. Like, did you watch Star Wars growing up?
A little bit.
You know that show? So like Jango Fett is like, that's the analogy I like using because everyone's seen Star Wars. But if you are the Jango Fett of your business and you can duplicate and replicate that same process, and you've got this army of, I don't know about clones, but it's not a perfect analogy, but that same kind of thing, right? Like you're building the model based on what are we? We are high quality ingredients. We're very customer oriented. We want to expand and grow and get in, and we want to be known based on these products. Like, you build kind of that ideal avatar, and then you can look for that in your organization and other organizations. But
100%.
Maybe we'll transition. So that's obviously business growth and your side, and where you currently are. So you're a partnership right now with yourself and your mom. Like, how did you make that decision, and how does that going on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis?
It kind of just gradually happened. It's just more and more involvement, and some of the more demand, I guess, as the business kind of grew, and it was just it's kind of just transitioned to being that way, but because I think it was between 2021 and a little bit into, I actually left the company for a while after 2021, after closing the restaurant. And it was kind of just in the null for a while. So I came back probably around 2023.
Okay. Yeah.
So she's the one that actually started the main part of the first part of the frozen pizzas, and then it just kind of evolved from there. Yeah.
You went from there. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's family-run business is cool. I always I caution people to get into business with their family, because it's either the best thing in the world or just some a lot of experiences that I've heard where nepotism is a nasty disease. I think for some people, or if you're hiring family and everything, but it can be a really great opportunity, and it just give you guys a really great brand, I think, and something people can get behind, right? And
for sure.
I know we talked about it a little bit, but purely on the operations side, you guys see pretty eye to eye.
No.
No? Dude, I appreciate the honesty. How...
No.
Maybe describe your vision, how it differs, and then maybe I guess if there's a remedy strategy to that.
That's what I'm trying to actively figure out right now.
That's okay.
So right now, like we have an aligned focus of like growing the company, but it's like how to grow that company. So a lot of the times I'll find resistance into like just like stuff like, for example, we used to have a case of 24 pizzas. I would always have to like repack the pizzas depending on the order. So like before we were sending out pallets, we would actually build the orders at our facility, and I would have to. Sometimes they'd order 12, sometimes they'd order 24, sometimes they'd order 6 pizzas.
Yeah.
So I'd always be repacking. I just factored in my time and my calculation. It was like it cost us $10,000 a year to do this when like it costs $4,000 just to shorten make the pack size smaller and give all the work to Valley Direct, which is our distributor.
Okay.
So like we send out
like
the
you
pallet.
guys are packing it. You were packing it yourselves. Yeah. Oh, interesting.
So like it'd always be we'd pack the orders. To give you more of a background, we'd vacuum seal the bags or the pizzas, put them in the boxes, then put them in the freezer. Then when an order came in, sometimes the order would only be 12 pizzas it would be like 48 pizzas, but some would be 6 and of one flavor and some would be 12. And then it's that time of repacking, it's just, it became a nightmare. So it
sounds like an unnecessary headache.
Yeah, no, it was
like you describing it sounds like an unnecessary headache.
It gives me a headache thinking about it.
Yeah, right?
But like there's just like these small things of like taking a 24 pack and going to 12 and like there's going to be a little bit higher cost on the boxes, but at the same time we're saving so much capacity in that, and that's what I try to go for. And like a lot of the time I just find resistance in trying to do things like that, where it's just making it simple is making it simple. No, it's pretty complex.
Okay. Yeah. Keeping it simple is not an easy thing to do, but I think it's simple to understand, but it's not always an easy thing to do. People want to complicate, especially when it's a craft you've been doing for a long time. Like the more I do what I do now, the harder it gets to like divest all of this knowledge that you've spent so long and hard creating, and then, understand and realize that most people you're talking to are not experts in your avenue, and it doesn't need to be this super complicated process, right? And not necessarily for everything, but I think most things are better simple, like easier to understand, because that's what people can draw and attach on. If you want a business, you want to market, you want to, increase revenue, and you want it to be measurable. The more simple your offer is, the more measurable that is when you're growing. Okay, this is what we did right, this is what we did wrong. If you've got 25 other things you're trying at once, it's like, how do I even know what was working and what wasn't? Because we were like this shit storm of stuff that we're trying to figure out. So yeah, I'm a big advocate for simple. Like definitely big on that.
Makes it easy.
Yeah, right. And easier said than done, but I still think like, there's always a way to have a simplifier. Someone in your business or some process that always asks, is this process too complicated? Can it be made easier?
Yeah.
More understandable, like someone to look after operations, look after revenue and stuff like that. But
it's made it, especially like just sending out a pallet is way easier than even just packing individual orders.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so easy. They already have a system that we just give it to them.
Yeah. I know. I was thinking like kind of a separate note, still relationship oriented. It is important, but like your sales pitch. So like obviously you got to get into retailers and stores and grocery stores. Like you're calling them up. Like what do you tell these people to get into stores? Like what's your offer? Why do I carry your pizza in my fridge? Right?
That's a good question, because like I've just really, most of the time I just ask questions. I mean, that's like,
it's not a bad method.
I just literally I just come at it like where like, who do I talk to, and how do I get into here? And like, that's just kind of the opening line. I don't really have like, I haven't really found, I just really started calling a lot of people. And so I'm kind of dialing more of that in, and it's more of like coming at the aspect of I know you don't have freezer space, but I think or I know our pizzas will sell, and it's just more so that aspect. Because I'm getting more, the more I'm talking to more people, the more data I'm getting on like how many pizzas we actually need to sell to stay in a freezer. And for a long time, it's hard to get the data from some of these grocery guys because they're either like some of the big chains, like a lot of them, they care, but they also like they're a lot of the time they're overworked, I guess what they call themselves. So it's hard to get that data. So now that I'm able to get some of that, I can kind of see where we fit into that and
refine your intuition there as you go.
Yeah. So that's probably.
So you just ask questions. Just call, like, what do you guys need? Like, what are you looking for? But a lot of it's freezer space is full. So you're working with an existing competitor, and you've got to, I guess, pitch. Why us?
Yeah.
I guess, like, maybe, like, without having a super detailed pitch, like, why? Give me, like, the three things that differentiate you guys from other frozen pizza out there.
It's probably mostly going to be. It's another good question. Another question that I don't think about that often, actually.
Fair enough.
It's probably mostly just going to be like the just full on quality of the pizza and like how people feel. They're also going to they have a little bit higher as like if we're selling around the same amount of units, they're obviously making more because our pizzas are costing a little bit or have a little bit more cost to them. But it's a really good question. I'd probably have to come back to you on the rest of that.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I'll tell you, like, from what you've told me, like, quality, bar none. Like, how do your prices compare to other frozen pizzas?
It's pretty up there for the most part. It's some of our like competitors are. One close one that I know right off the top of my head is a company out of Salmon Arm, and they're having around $14.99, $15.99.
Okay.
And there's a new one that's coming into market right now that's kind of like started. I've noticed our sales go down a little bit, and they're hovering around $15.99 as well. So it's kind of like a lower price, and they're lower in weight as well. So that's one thing that even my mom noticed the other day is like the grams are so small on our labels.
Okay.
And people might be thinking that it's lower than say 400 grams on like the box because most other pizzas are in boxes. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it almost looks smaller, I guess.
Our pizzas, look smaller.
Yeah. Do you follow Mr. Beast a lot? You know what it is? Yeah, obviously you know, but his Feastables, his chocolate brand, if you listen to the way he talks about it, it's kind of similar in like, first of all, getting data, but he just spends like, he'll just go to a Walmart where his bars are and he'll just watch people buy his stuff, right? And just like, how do people interact? Or like, we had like one time he was saying they were holding up an O. Henry versus a Mr. Beast Feastables peanut butter chocolate bar. Yeah. And they're like, they're looking at the label and he's like, dude, this is gold. Like this is exactly, how I determine how do consumers make decisions.
Yeah.
So you guys price a little more expensive than these guys, what you're saying? Like what do you per pizza?
It's it's generally between $17.99 and $19.
Okay.
And that's just like we eventually, once we get a bigger facility or a different production, because right now it's all handmade. So that's one of the biggest factors is
for sure.
Is that it's handmade and there's only so much like we can decrease the cost and for it to make sense for a business. So it's we'd like to get that cost down a little bit when we go into like
economies of scale. I think we'll do that, right? But that is a pitch. Right now you're handmade. Like you can, like when I think of that, I say, okay, we're quality driven, we're handmade, and we're a personal touch. Like we're getting, especially if you're selling locally. Like I can see why you guys have done well in BC, but anything near here, it's like, look, we're hands on. Like here is our existing demographic. You can show there's tangible proof that we're here. We're not the cheapest in the store, but our quality reflects that, our brand reflects that, right? And you kind of position yourself as a more premium brand. Like Turtles has done that really well in the chocolate space. People will pay $12.50 for a Turtles box, and they'll pay $5 for the same thing somewhere else. Why? It's the brand, right? They've built quality around it. They've, people know what they're getting and they know it's going to be good.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I don't know. That's why I'm calling Save On Foods. I'm like, hey, like, you guys need this pizza. Like, you got to get it. You're like, we're a quality base, and you got to ask questions and figure what they're looking for and what they need and say, okay, if I'm understanding you correctly, this is kind of the revenue you have. This is the opportunity for it. Here's why we fit in. And yeah, you take it from there. I don't know. That's how I'd be making calls, but that's cool. I like hearing that, like, pricing is definitely a factor in that industry. Like, people are looking, dollars are important, like dollars to donuts, where, okay, if we're $3 more expensive, our brand needs to be worth like that much more, right?
Like, we just need to prove that we can move the product, and like that's right now, like it's like we like for Urban Fare that the first, I think, 2 or 3 months that we launched there, it was like it was 2 months, something like that. It was like 700 pizzas in 60 days or something like that. So it was a pretty good number.
Yeah,
we were in a good position, and we were in a freezer bunker, and we kind of use that as like leverage, because they can see the sales across all Save-Ons, so they can see what we're doing at each store. And it's definitely, like, I can, depending on the location of the store, I can kind of gauge how many pizzas they'll do based on how many pizzerias or restaurants or whatever are around. Like, for example, like one of the smallest stores in that Save-On has is in, not one of the smallest, but smallest locations in terms of demographic. There's like 1,800 people in the cusp, and they sell like probably they're one of our higher volume stores.
In the cusp. Dude, that's a tiny little town. Yeah.
And I don't know I think it's the lack of pizza.
What's in the water there? Hey?
Yeah. Because like we launched a store in Coquitlam, and it's one of the biggest Save-Ons, and it's like almost no comparison. It's like, it's a totally different brand market. Yeah. I've done a lot of work in the Kootenays in terms of like videos and stuff like that. So
nice.
And it's just like, I think those small towns also talk about what they eat, because it's such a small town.
For sure. Absolutely. Where it gets around.
Yeah.
Even here, like Kelowna is a small, medium-sized city relative to BC now, but like I talk to people here, man, like people that grew up here, everyone kind of knows everyone. Yeah. Like I'm like 1 or 2 people away from knowing just what everyone in the city. I feel like, right? Like someone always knows somebody's brother's cousin's friend who grew up in Kelowna as well. Like, word does get around when you're in smaller communities, for sure. But man, you've got a lot of moving parts. Like, and who doesn't as a business owner? But you're in brand strategy, you're in your pizza, you're also thinking about going into another segment in the sauce thing. Like, what's your next move? Like in the next week or 24 to 48 hours, like what actions are you taking now to like drive the next ship?
The next 24 hours to 48 hours is probably going to be like definitely like just like I'm going to go do a demo at the Save-On in Coquitlam, and just sample out some pizzas and talk to people and see what they're thinking, and if there's any hang-ups, or if there's any things like that. Sometimes, like the last time I was there, I think 2 weeks ago, and we kind of got back into that store because the management kind of shifted, and so lost communication a little bit. But a lot of people, I guess, were excited to see that we're back in the store. So
nice.
That's probably gonna be the.
Who comes out to like when you're trying pizza? Like, is that customers?
It's just at Save-On. Yeah, just like you're just doing a demo in the store. It's like samples at Costco.
Nice. Yeah.
So it's just basically doing that, and then the next like couple of weeks is probably just working on trying to get the sauce out there.
Trying to get the sauce out there.
Trying to get it finished, and then bottle them. Like find a bottle, make a label for it.
Okay.
And it's probably going to be main focus.
Just getting the sauce, see how that goes. Yeah. How in operations are you right now?
Pretty heavy.
Involved,
yeah.
Okay.
Like, for majority of the work, I'm maybe like 5-10%. Like most of it's like just making sure the orders and the lot codes are like, because we have to trace everything. Everything has to be like one step forward, one step back. So like, everything that comes in, the lock codes.
One step forward, one step back. What do you mean by that?
So like basically everything that comes in like has to like kind of be traced. So stuff that's coming in, stuff that's like whether we're storage in the freezer, like everything has to be trackable. So every single item that goes into the pizza has to be tracked, and then the pizza itself has to be tracked to what stores and what locations.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit of a doozy sometimes.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, right?
Then there's just like packing the pallets. Sometimes I do that, and then what else do I do?
And how big's your team? 4 other people, you said?
Yeah.
4 of you. And so are they all like
pizza production?
They're pizza, okay.
Prepping, sealing, or making a pizza.
So when it comes to the business side, it's you and is your mom helping some of that stuff? Okay. Yeah. So it's you two though. That's it.
Yeah, she's mostly like doing like the back end, like doing like receiving the checks, doing like the kind of back end accounting stuff. And then she's like likes to do product development a lot, and she's a chef, so she likes to mess around with like different flavors, and so that's what she's doing with the sauce right now.
Okay.
So she's trying to find one that's good.
Yeah, fair enough. Explorer, and that sounds like that's what lights her up, right? Is that and trying new shit and being a chef, trying it out. For you, like, I think you said a little bit earlier, but like it's running a team and it's the business growth stuff. Like, if all you did all day was like build new relationships with retailers and businesses, like would that be something you're happy with?
Yeah, probably. I think so. And just like talking to people in general, like it's just like even I'd be happy even just like making content, going downtown and like handing out pizzas. Like I've done that before, like lots of times before, where it's just it's just like just fun talking with people and having fun, which is one thing I'm trying to focus on more now. Have more fun.
Do you love like your business? Like do you enjoy what you do?
I'm struggling. I've struggled with it a lot, but it's definitely the overarching business. I like business and it's fun to me. It's just that there's lots of like things like every business has, but it's like at some points like there always feels like there's like a repeat pattern that keeps happening that it's like unable to break, which then makes me think like I don't know what I should do. It makes me feel stuck, if you will.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
That kind of the pattern that pattern is probably the one thing that probably wants to breaks down, I guess you might say.
Yeah. So you're trying to break that pattern of being kind of stuck in the same kind of flow that you're in, I guess, right now per se. Yeah, that makes sense. It's not it's an on and off again relationship. I think like it's the whole discipline piece, right? And like the whole you're gonna have your ups and downs in business, and once you become kind of indifferent to that, and you want to drive performance or drive results, but you also got to do what you love. Like I love people and this stuff, and like me too, man. I'm totally 100%. Like relationship based. Like my business, it's a contact sport. Very much because it's approaching contact, service. Just like treat your people like gold, and they will, it'll grow exponentially. Is kind of how I see it, right? And that comes in action. Like it's easy to say that and say be a good guy, but sometimes that means sacrificing other things that would otherwise come for that business. How many hours are you working a week right now?
Probably not a ton actually. Like
no?
It's actually like probably like. I probably like actual like solid work probably like 40 hours a week. Like solid like where I'm actually getting stuff done. So and then other times like I'll spend a decent amount of time there, maybe like 12 hours a day most of the day, but depends on
okay, so you're measuring like actual like output, or I guess like
so like I just there's lots of times where like I'll try and work, but I'm not actually like getting stuff done. So like I kind of don't really factor that in.
That's honest.
Just trying to get more of like actual work done. So
that's like busy work.
Yeah,
guys will say they work 90 hours a week, and it's like half of it's busy work.
Yeah, like I just it's tough because like being actually like so many people are like there's so much noise, and I just like I want to just cut out all the noise and just like do the thing that makes a difference.
Yeah, and for sure.
There's like building the business. I'm trying to build the business, but I've also built it around myself too. So like a lot of the times like everyone will come to me for like answers and that's a part of like being a leader at the same time, but I have to be able to allow them to figure stuff out.
Self-empower.
So that's one thing I'm trying to work on right now.
No, man. I honestly, that's one of the things I think about the most is self-empowerment, is like this person in this company owns the outcomes of this activity. Right? And you give them the authority. It's hard as someone who runs a team. Like it's not an easy thing to do. But if you do it right, I think like a lot of the best organizations are built on that. Like I'll give you an example, like Google. Their culture is very much like anyone in that company can innovate. And then when they have new projects, so like Notebook LM, you heard of that tool? You know what that is?
I don't think so.
So it's Google's closed loop model. So it's Google Gemini is the talking, it's the agent in there. But rather than like the whole, like one of the biggest problems with AI is hallucination. If you're verifying work and you have no idea where it's coming from, it's pulling information out of its ass and it's like, here you go, like, you know, not real, right? So Notebook LM solves that. It's closed loop. So if you give it a textbook or you give it like all of your ingredients of all your menus, it only pulls from that data. So it says based on page 25 of this document, this is what this says for this reason. And that's it. Super cool. But the guy who came up with that with Google, like basically runs that team. He owns a part of that segment of the business. So he came up with the idea. They said, this is great. Like we're giving you this responsibility. You know more about your idea better than anyone else does. He picks his team and runs the team. Google is there and you put Google on that brand. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of reach, right? So there's obviously a benefit there, but they own the outcomes of that activity, like very anti-bureaucratic behavior, you know? Same thing, Berkshire Hathaway. Does a great job of that. Their team is, for $1 trillion company, unbelievably small team. And like people own the outcomes of their activities. Like what's a good example? And like Dan Martell talks about this stuff a lot too, and like empowering, and even it comes back into the buy back your time thing. Like I want you to make 10 pizzas by the end of the day. B would be like, we need to make $2,000 by the end of the day. So rather than giving the person like the task, they're done, they sign off, they leave. It's like, okay, we need to make this revenue. So maybe they make the call that you would have made and maybe they figure stuff out. So it's like outcomes-based instructions or actions rather than operational-based instructions. Anyway, long-winded diatribe, long-winded way of saying you should like own the outcomes of your activities as an employee or a business owner. And like that funnels into a million different things, but like talent acquisition and finding people that, you know, want to care about your business and grow it with you, right? And dreaming big enough that everyone else's dreams kind of fit within yours. And like, I'm just like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to go all in and try. But yeah, definitely easier said than done, but I have seen it done very well. And I think some of the really, really big and like successful organizations, that's exactly what they do.
Like that'd be awesome.
Like not an easy thing though, right? Is you're seeing when you have a team, it's like, okay, like, you know, I need to make sure this shit is done, but how do I trust this person? It's my business, right? Like I get it.
I think I trust a decent amount, but it's like the problem I run into is like actually like before, like my capacity, like I was doing so many things and my capacity was so short that my answers would be quick. And then it'd not be fully thought out and I'd be like, oh, I'll just do that. And then I just add more stuff to my plate. So like I kind of fell into that
that's a good realization to
downfall.
have.
So I kind of, now that I have like someone doing most of the prep and I guess making sure that the pizzas are getting made and all that stuff and all the ordering, and it's just kind of been nice to like look back and just like see like, okay, because the last guy I had stressed the heck out of me. I'd wake up in the middle of the night, I'd be like, oh, did he forget to put the thing in the fridge or something like that. And like, there's one that we ended up having to fire him, but yeah, it was just.
And people make mistakes.
It was stressful.
Yeah, it is. Having people on your team that you can't. Yeah, trust. It's tough. Yeah. It's tough because it's your business, right? Like at the end of the day, who pays the piper? Like who pays for the consequences? It's you, right? You're the one who has to deal with the repercussions of actions like that. So, yeah, really cool, man. I like that you're thinking about that for sure. Like I think any organization want to be a leader, like I think those are kind of the makings. And if you were to put a recipe for a leader, like that's one of the ingredients for sure, right? You should have like a recipe for a leader. Pizzamoreh, and it's like beside your pizza instructions, but it's like own your activities, do this. That'd be pretty funny. But we'll wrap up in a second here. But I did want to ask you about your content too, and I love seeing your stuff and like getting hands on. Like, what's your content strategy right now? Is it just kind of post as it comes up? How do you approach that?
Again, that's something that I'm like kind of working on because I'm like in a transition period of like, I kind of almost like fully stopped making content probably like for the past like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I think mostly due to the fact of like the brand identity is like kind of misaligned, and I just don't know what direction to honestly take it, and I've been like actually struggling with it pretty hard. So, because December, January, February, kind of like through that kind of period of I really started focusing more on content and posting every day.
Nice.
Then I ran into the problem of like capacity. I couldn't make as many pizzas, and we sold out a few times in that period of time. And I really started slowing down because I was like, I don't know. I don't know what else I could sell. I don't know. Like, I was just kind of stuck because I don't have any pizzas.
Yeah.
And then if I upset like the retailers and if I can't supply them, then there's that whole.
Yeah, you got to keep those relationships.
Downfall. Absolutely. If I can't supply them, then like they just keep selling out, which is good. But then there's that. Yeah, then they start getting angry. So it's like that whole thing kind of fueled the direction of I'm trying to find how to do it now. And like,
do you like content?
Yeah. I've always done it. That's kind of how I built Pizzamoreh in the first place. Like I never really did it that well, like in the beginning. It wasn't until I started seeing some guys pop up, like the storytelling stuff. Like there's a guy that has a liquor store in Cold Lake.
Yep. Oh yeah. Corey.
Corey.
Yeah. I know him.
And I started seeing it. I was like, damn, I gotta do that.
Yeah. That's cool. It's
I started seeing him pop up, and I was like, oh, I can probably do that, and like actually put more effort into content. But yeah, like it's more so like I've always been like, I guess the face of it, and so I really wanted to figure out how to bring more people in or be more product focused or like customer focused, and I think an option is like handing out slices and just being like, hey, like what do you think of this pizza? Or like one thing I've done in the past is like $25 if you don't like this pizza, and that video did like pretty well for stuff like that. But
well, it's a draw, right? It's like, okay, now people are waiting for will he pay him the money? Like I don't know, right? Let's figure it out. But yeah, I honestly like this. I love podcasts, this style, like just diving into stuff with people. Big fan of that. The content side, like I kind of pull my hair out on, to be honest. Like I have a really hard time.
It can be demanding.
But I do it anyway. But yeah, it's like, I know like I've actually had someone who's started to help me a little bit now. But that person really likes content and like building and doing all this stuff. Like I'm getting to the point, like we're getting there where I want to have someone kind of stick handle a lot of that. And I continue to do videos and stuff, but now we're here like, okay, this person kind of owns like, okay, they're looking at my analytics and they're analyzing what kind of stuff we can be doing. That's still on point with my brand, right?
Yeah.
It's just anything you delegate eventually, but
100%.
I don't know. For me, it's like, it's just such a, it's a drain for sure. And I've liked it more. I've learned to like it. You just get better with the volume and practicing more. But like I did all the content for a previous business I was in, Ogopogo Surf Club. And Ogopogo Live is what it was. So it was a few businesses. It was a jumbled, scrambled set of ideas, and hence why I moved on from it, because I was doing that with what I was doing now too. But I did all the content for it, and it was like people would send us surf videos and stuff, and I would repost it. And it started to do pretty well, but man, it was so demanding. Like the stuff I needed to do to drive revenue wasn't that, right? But you kind of need to have a brand and a face. It's like a requirement, and it's like this big investment of time into future brand and stuff. But not easy.
That's like content can drive so much. Like like between like in that time we like doubled our business.
Wow.
In the 2 months, and then like it kind of just hits.
Doubled your business in 2 months.
Yeah, we were doing. That's from November, started November 12th, and then I didn't really realize until like I was looking back on January. I was like, damn, we did more than we did ever.
Wow. You're just so in. You're like, oh, and we made a bunch of money.
In a month, I was like looking at it. I was like, I just saw it. I was like, how the heck did we do that? Like, I didn't even know until like February. And I was looking back at it. I was like, damn, like, that's crazy.
And you think that was content driven?
Oh,
like
100%.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few videos that did pretty well. And like at the same time, we were doing like kind of like a drive. So like every 24 pizzas sold, we'd donate one to the local food bank.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I did.
So
like the Central Okanagan Food Bank here, right?
This time we're doing it for the Central Okanagan, but the other one we were doing it. So depending on where it was sold, the pizzas would go to that food bank in that city.
Okay.
But that turned out to be a logistical nightmare.
Yeah. That's great though. You guys are giving back. Like it's really important, I think, is to do that while you're growing your business, and to people appreciate that a lot. And it's, I mean, it's selfishly, it's great for PR, I think, to be someone who gives back. But you know, like you can do very good things for selfish reasons. I think there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah,
I want to give back because it looks good for me, and I feel good about giving back to people. Like that's totally fine. Like
I like because a lot of the time the food bank food is just not the best.
No,
so it's like,
dude, if I was going to a food shelter and I ate that pizza, like that's a good day. That's a very good day.
Because like it's I don't know. This is why I was like sometimes like it's nice to do, and then like we're doing it again we did it for the month of May, and we're gonna donate 115 pizzas, I think.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Good for you guys. That's a lot of impact. That's 115 meals that these people otherwise wouldn't have, right?
Yeah. So something that's just a little bit better.
It goes to show. Yeah, sweet. Well, Dax, man, like pleasure having you on here. I think, great to pick your brain a little more and see kind of how you think and your way of operating. Like I love to hear a little more about that, your aspirations, business mind, for the record. And I think you kind of had this innate thing. I did not, to be honest. Like I had to, it was a point in time where a switch clicked for me, but like.
Well, sometimes it's like sometimes you just go into it and you just excel like crazy. Like sometimes like it takes like not always the most experienced person, but like the one that has the ability to just drive.
Yeah, because dude, I like. How do I say this? I sucked when I started, to be honest. Like I was not like I was a 19-year-old in the financial industry trying to sell to people with a bunch of money who are retired. Like hell, they're going to trust some wannabe whatever was over, right? Like you know, like there's a huge trust component there. But like you do, you know, you learn and like you just refine your intuition. Like, okay, this didn't work this time. I actually got this far this time. That's great. And then I bring on a client and then they back out at the last minute. Fuck, I need to do something else. Like how do I build the trust better? And like that's business though, right?
Yeah.
That's part of it.
Or just letting go too.
Yeah, right.
Letting, like you want the outcome, you have a desired outcome, but then you just like let go. don't have to worry about it. You just take the aligned action.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's a good way to end it. Yeah, sweet. Okay, man, pleasure having you on here. I'm sorry about the oven shit, but
oh no, that's all right.
We're here now. I should probably turn that off too, to be honest.
It's still on? Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think it's been cooking. There we go. Yeah. Thanks, man. You want these?